VibeCheck.
VibeCheck.
VibeCheck episode 29. Initiate your growth. Topic inspired by Robbie J. Bobby. Robbie.
The man himself.
Initiate your growth. What the hell does that mean?
Well, the whole reason I wanted to bring it up to initiate everybody else's growth is because Noah D just hopped on that journey. Noah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hold on, before we tell Noah about himself, let's just say Noah's our guest for today. Now tell us about yourself.
What do you guys want to know about me?
Man. Oh, what's your last name?
Last name, some would say D. Some would say,
Dan
some would
Howard.
call me son. Some would also call me father. Two
Let's
of my
hear
sons in the
My son, Noah D. One of my favorite people is...
Perfect.
Perfect.
Now this
right.
is the epiphany.
All right.
Guys, Noah was our roommate for several months, and then went back to New Jersey because money issues. I'm kidding. Anyways, it's like Noah's taking a $5 out of my pocket, and then I say that slips it back in. But no, he moved
Still
back.
gotta pay me back those $20.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
He was killing it in Georgia recently. Yeah, Georgia, Alabama.
That's where I've been.
Yeah.
A little different.
But when he was in Jersey, he was blowing up over the summer. Literally even posting horizontal video on TikTok. He's still doing big.
Like, not this way, but this way.
And we were like, Noah, like we know you're blowing up on everything else, and you're a good-looking guy, but screw you and what benefits you. We want you in the podcast and benefit us and provide value today.
Yeah.
And that value will come from within your heart, Noah. So Noah, tell us from within your heart, my son, my Noah. No, I missed him. Tell the audience just who you are and why you are that way. Talk, come on.
Well, who I am and why I'm that way. I'm Noah D. I'm not 19 anymore, sadly. I'm 20. And I spent a lot of time with these guys right here. Mm-hmm. Some would say they're my sons even.
And then you made us
would be
happy.
probably really wrong.
But my sons taught me a lot while I spent that time with them, and I'm grateful for them. And it's good to see them. It's been a while.
Actually, 8 months it's been.
8 months.
I swear to you, bro.
8 months.
If I wasn't so tired today, I would have cried when I saw you. It was my face was too tired.
It's okay. It's
Like, I was like,
it's okay. You don't have to cry. It's all
Since
right.
we haven't seen you in 8 months, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing in the past 8 months.
No, it's been 10 months, bro. It's been
10
10.
months.
10
Yeah,
months.
10 months.
10 months.
Wow, it actually has been 10 months.
You looked at it, what, April 28th?
I've just been focusing on content mainly. I've just been grinding, just trying to take it to the next level. And I've been trying to build a nice group of people around me, back over there.
Give some
Like,
shout outs. Shout out your homies, bro. Come on, man.
Shout out to the boys, Chaz, Phil the Thrill, Jesse the Filmer. Love you boys.
The Riz Kings.
Great guys.
Great guys.
Better friends.
So the past 10 months, what have some of your main pursuits been?
I'd say number one was actually finding a new good group of people to come on the content journey.
Our replacements.
To maybe initiate that more growth.
Yeah, initiate more growth in a personal level and on a career aspect, have people to work with me that I can also have a good personal connection with, which is what's really cool.
Fire.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, where do you see what's the next move? What do you see that growth initiating? Where do you see yourself in the next year heading towards?
I think there's still a long way to go. I think it's I look at this still at the beginning, even though I'm doing not too bad, but I think there's a long mountain, a big mountain in the hills, a huge mountain. You gotta hike up this mountain. And I feel like it's a long hike.
What's at the top of the mountain for you?
What's at the top of the mountain for me? Mm-hmm. At the top of the mountain, there's some rocks. There's a few rocks, and each rock contains something in it. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna contain happiness. That's what the main big rock's gonna contain.
You saying it's gonna have Dunkin' coffee over? What are you talking about, man?
No,
Coffee?
Then I just really just want to get to a spot where I'm comfortable and I'm able to just kind of go anywhere I want to go whenever I just want to have just complete freedom. That's the word I like to use, freedom. I want to have freedom to just have the crazy experiences with everybody I really mess with in my life.
So this
family,
top of the
friends.
mountain is 100% peace, but it's not so much about the peace that's going to give you that full peace. It's literally, or the top of the mountain that's going to give it to you. It's literally the freedom of going through the process.
Yeah, I feel like I already have peace. But it's just
Well, here's the driving question. Why is it important to initiate your growth to get on the top of that mountain? Why do you need to, let's just say you like the top of the mountain. Okay, yeah, I like it. But why do you need to initiate that growth? What makes the aspect of just getting started and starting that journey? And even I remember when we lived together, crazy time. You said as long as you're making progress each day, you're growing.
Yeah, well, I feel like
Why do you have to
I feel
start
like
that?
there really is no top of the mountain because once you get to the top of the mountain, then you climb a new mountain.
Yeah, but
Because you
always another mountain.
always got to
You get over that one, and you're like,
you're never gonna want to
bigger
stop.
one.
But
It's
why
like-
start that journey? Why start that journey?
because like you need to have a journey in your life. I feel like if you want to be fulfilled, like you
What
can't
about people in their comfort zones? They're like, hey, like I'm okay.
then I don't think they're like truly like.
applying themselves.
I just feel like people like that can't be truly like fulfilled or happy. Like if you're just like so comfortable where you don't to go in any new experiences, meeting new people,
Yeah.
not grow. Like how do you do that?
In many ways, a lot of times it's not even their fault because environmentally, it's like you're told, hey, this is like the standard of college, blah blah.
And that's who you're surrounding yourself with.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Because it's like when I was telling some people like, yeah, I want to move to LA. Other than some people I was filming with, where it's like, ah, man, we can do it.
And that's not to say it's the wrong thing to do or they're living life wrong. It's literally like just a different prioritization of what we feel like brings purpose to our
Yeah,
lives.
and even people that were saying, oh, don't move there, don't do that. It's not like they're coming from a place of like, malicious. It's just like maybe what they were taught of, hey, like that risk is too risky.
Yeah.
But you're someone, and I think we're all on the same page of that, where it's like, you need to, what's the philosophy? Risk it for the biscuit.
Risk it for the biscuit.
No,
Yeah,
but
they said
because
biscuit
you have to, and that biscuit, that's the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
There could be more than one biscuit, and you'll have to keep getting them. But at the end of the day, you know,
How many biscuits can you get?
and if you're not trying to get the biscuit, then it's pretty much what the hell you
What are
doing.
you trying
Absolutely.
to get?
What are you
know?
doing?
And that's what I've always been like saying at the beginning, like a couple podcasts ago, is like if you're not living with like resistance or something to like work towards without something like that has, challenge or hardship in it, there's literally like just complete comfort. And I feel like there's only like a limited amount of fulfillment you can get from that. But like when you're challenged with something that you're overcoming, like you find much more purpose in life when you have something to work towards. Like if you have a compelling tomorrow, you're not gonna be so stuck in today's moment. You're gonna be like, oh, always have something to work towards.
Yeah.
But through that process gives you a lot more peace. But at the same time, if you're not working towards that and you're just like worried about your own peace and like your home and like you're, comfortable, like you mentioned, like your glass can be full, but it's very limiting capacity compared to like having an overflowing glass where you're able to pour out into others. And that's why you'll see that like a lot of people that, are super wealthy, either one, they end up being, super successful without any fulfillment, which is the worst possible failure you can have.
Yeah.
Or number two, they end up like contributing a lot to society and the world. They want to like give back. They want to like raise money for charities and things like that, which is ultimate fulfillment when you can like not see the mountain as like, a mountaintop. You see it as a plateau where you can bring everybody else with you.
Yeah, speaking of bringing everyone else,
Yeah.
I love that you just said that because to directly build on that, so Noah, you're a big fan of happiness.
Yeah.
It seems that comes growth and even surprising yourself of your own potential. You're like, wow, like you have more of this self-esteem, this self-love for yourself that you need to have in order to love others. You have to love yourself before you love others. Am I wrong?
Oh, that's
That's the
100%.
saying.
That's 100%.
I read that on
Yeah.
that cereal box that one time.
Yeah.
And I,
With the top of the Snapple
would,
cap.
why would Kellogg's
Facts.
fucking lie to me? But bottom line, it's
Did you
just
get the
like,
free toy, by the way?
Dude.
did I get the
Did he
Did
get
I?
the free toy?
I was hitting it. Yeah, I got the free toy. Anyways, pretty much growth and even surprising yourself on your potential. It's like, wow, you have the self-love that you can give more to others. So another reason to initiate your growth is because you're gonna help others initiate their growth. When people see you excelling, they're like, wow, like, not to be like, hey, like, we're the fucking man.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, what's keeping you and Robbie going? And it's like, because you described us as being motivated, and it's like every day you guys are like in the zone, and pretty much at the end of the day, us initiating our growth had you like you're reading books and you wanted to really like
Yeah.
you were
seeing
inspired.
seeing you guys grow every day like made me like feel like, oh, like, I'm like I've
Yeah.
been living all wrong. You know what I mean? Like I'm missing this.
But at the same time, that sounds more business. But what Noah did for me was initially this like this innocence, this more like, hey, like we can be business, but like, let's like chill and have some fun. And I increased some habits because of him. And no, but honestly,
Healthy
like
habits.
it's like Noah's a good example of someone who can get the job done, initiate his growth professionally and personally, and it's all about that balance, which is my word of the year. Like you need to have fun in the process while still executing And people will inspire to be like that. Like they will see you have because no one wants to be like a mindless drone. Like as you being successful, having all that money and no fulfillment. But to have all that money and have fulfillment, that's pretty good. That's a good ass compliment.
I think it's pretty important to realize that looks completely different on social media than it does in real life.
Yeah,
too.
the highlight reel.
Because like
right.
you can post that and like make it seem like you're living this luxurious life, but like if you meet somebody in person, you get to see their full character for like who they are as an individual, not who they're trying to sell themselves as. You get much more of a connection, and those are the people that you really want to like surround yourself with because they're what I call life-giving individuals that can like pour out into you. But you also want to be as life-giving as you can, given the circumstances. If you're going through something, make sure you're like giving yourself time and empathy for yourself. But to surround yourself with people that are like that, so you can like both be iron sharpening iron, like helping each other out at the same time.
Yeah,
pretty crucial.
Noah, so your buddies that you're saying, you gave them a shout out. Would you say perhaps like what brought you guys together could be that like-minded mindset of like you feel they also are like, hey, like they want to initiate their growth, they want to keep building and excelling to get to be the best version of themselves. Like, is that a similar to like, is that in common with you guys that's making it so like efficient when working together?
Yeah, I 100% think so, because especially like with Chaz, how we do a lot of videos together, it's like he always reminds me of you, how like he can't sleep at night if he's not like
he's gotta get it done.
He's gotta get he can't sleep at night if he hates not growing.
Yeah,
he hates not growing, and that's like a main priority for him in every aspect of his
and
life.
it's a nice energy.
It's a good. It's just like it's like refreshing to be around somebody else like that, because like in Jersey, it was like almost it was like impossible. So.
Dude, sorry.
It's like, hey, bro, did you play bingo on Tuesday?
Bro, you're ahead of your time.
Am I?
This guy's ahead of, you literally said, this was April last year. You're like, yeah, man. You said something, it wasn't even regarding, I think you said, yeah, like, I gotta go to like, you were talking about why you go back to Jersey. And you're like, yeah, Van Nuys, like, when I'm outside of Ralph's, like, talking to a bunch of NPCs. And I'm like,
yeah.
This is before the NPCs was like a thing on any social media. I was like, what the hell's an NPC? He goes, like a bot.
That's what it felt like.
I'm like,
like
what do you mean bots? He goes like, dude, like, like,
what's
bots, like no personality.
It's like, I don't know.
You told me back then.
I know what it is. I don't know what the NPC stands for, but it's like, it's like in the video games, you go up to the animated character and they have automated responses. It's
that's
like
an NPC.
They send you on like a quest or something.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like,
every time you talk to them, it's like,
yeah.
It's like,
they have like limited answers. They
like a synth.
Yeah,
it's like if we walked somewhere, we're like, oh, did you say this line for TikTok? And they're like, yeah, just say, oh, grab the book. They go, grab the book. I don't know. I don't really film. It's like, oh, just say it louder. Grab the book. And it's like, this guy's an NPC. But you don't want to be an NPC. But everyone comments in TikTok and everything. It's always like, LOL, NPCs. Or be like, Ohio be like, ha, NPCs in Ohio. Like, now they're combining him.
Is that a popular one?
But you were saying that first. I heard it first from you.
No.
Yeah, I told you about it. Dude, there's like
I hope you guys didn't forget your thought.
NPCs in Ohio, that's like a common thing?
No, like there's this whole thing on TikTok where
NPC Ohio movement?
it just says only in Ohio.
Yeah.
Only in
I've
Ohio.
seen that.
You seen that? Yeah.
That's
all the time.
yeah.
I don't know.
Which I thought, like, when that started coming out, like, it was on Jail Part 2. They're like, jails in Ohio would be like, I'm like, how the hell?
Why Ohio?
How do they know that? Because I thought people, like, before it was a trend, I thought it was because they knew I was from Ohio, but I was like, how do they know that the jail? Like, I was like, this jail's in California. Why do they think it's in Ohio? Why is it a big deal, even if the jail was in Ohio? But then I found out it was a trend.
The concept.
Yeah, because then I saw in other videos, they were like, haha, like this playground in Ohio, because it was like verified $6 playground.
Right.
I'm like, okay, this is clearly a trend. I don't know why you mean, why Ohio? Well, now we know. Oh my God, it was ahead of its time because the train track.
No. It was, no. But yeah, I heard about that. Anyways.
No. Robbie, that thing is weird, man. I'm trying to suppress that from the media.
Yeah, it's odd. It's really odd.
Wait, Robbie, don't say anything. Our lives are going to get banned.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
No, let's keep it that way. Go on, Robbie.
Anyways.
I didn't
No. Yeah.
Yeah. That's tragic. Anyways.
Tragic, I know.
Yeah, we'll tell you.
We'll tell you
After.
Okay, but yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right, cool.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about NPCs and how like the
NPCs
people
and NPCs.
in Jersey were kind of like NPCs. That's where we were left off.
there's NPCs everywhere.
Because I was like, Ohio is full of NPCs.
They're everywhere.
Robbie, an NPC, dude, I should use it. Was, remember we were like vibing on the fact that when we were in Ohio, we were like, oh, how's your job? Good. Anything new? No.
You got any goals?
Nope.
The NPCs are the...
Yo, dude, that's insane. Bro, we were in sync earlier in the car. We said something weird.
See,
at the
like
same
if you want
time.
to go shopping or anywhere, you go during a weekday. You go during like a Tuesday or Monday afternoon, because then you avoid all the NPCs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or he
They're
goes
all-
at like 3 a.m.
NBC.
Yeah, you're avoiding. You're avoiding
I don't-
because all the NPCs got work tomorrow.
Do you know
they
what?
got to wake up at.
I feel like
at
when
7,
all the benches
you know?
are taken, I walk up, my radar is like, it's like reading each figure. It's like code NPC. I'm just like, damn, every bench is taken by an NPC.
Yeah, by bot.
And I'm just kind of like, it's kind of like spam mail. It's like you have to filter through. And
Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
So you find somebody that's like, hey, Rob, what's going on?
yeah. I need like a code to read
Kinda
like
hello, Robert.
hello.
How are you doing? Hope
Dude,
you're
have
well.
you guys kept up with like all the AI stuff?
No, what's that?
Oh,
Like, you ever heard about the recent
Chat GPT,
like,
yeah, bro, that
you know,
shit's crazy.
it's-
Dominic's like Nagy. He goes, Nagy, he gave me a ride to the airport. He goes, Nagy, when you get back from the airport, I want 4 new ideas from Chat GPT. I'm like, dude, I want to think of my ideas. He goes,
You ever
why
heard
think
of that?
about it? You can use Chat GPT.
Bro.
Dude, it's insane.
ChatGPT.
So
Chat GPT, it's incredible. You know what? Let's talk about it. Tell him.
Tell him.
it's like an AI system, and you can just literally tell it to do anything, and it will just do it for you. For example, I asked it to write me like a collaboration pitch for brands, and like I told them I have 2 million followers on TikTok, and it just wrote me out in within 10 seconds this lengthy just like proposal that's really good. And now I just use it to send all my brands. That's just like a light example, but it does like some crazy stuff, and you can have conversations with it. It's not just like, say you tell it to do something, it gives it to you. Then you can tell it like to
Do you
tweak it a little bit.
foresee people creating romantic relationships with these AI systems?
Yeah, I bet.
It's like, what if we're spotting
Yeah,
this
it's-
girl? And like, people.
It's like I can't find a
it's
connection
genius.
with somebody.
It's gonna like make a lot of things in life really weird. It's gonna take a lot
At
of
this
jobs.
rate, I wouldn't be surprised if Arnold Schwarzenegger appeared in my apartment, just teleported. I'm T8100. We are sent from the
Yeah.
future by John Connor to wipe out all AI objectives. And then we're like the Chat GPT figured out how to create an actual Terminator. It's like,
No,
that's
it's
just gonna
not.
happen.
It's not too
We're gonna
far
be,
off.
we're, like, I'm telling you, did you see Judgment Day, Terminator 2, Judgment Day? That's what's gonna, we're screwed, dude.
But like,
ChatGPT
if you
is
guys had
gonna
to
kill us.
assume, like, this is so random. Like,
Yeah.
one thing that would wipe out human race, what's the first thing you can think of?
Technology.
Oh, natural disaster.
No, people's inner
think
sin.
it'll be.
It's gonna be the devil, and then Christ, the rapture. That's yeah.
Okay.
Sin is gonna be the end of this world, and when we're all about to be doing.
What do you think it
real
is? What do you?
Sin, or
Oh,
I think corruption.
yeah.
Or let me make this more of a lighthearted anime.
Or would
comment.
you see it as like a World War III?
Like what I was about to say,
I
World
see.
War Three.
I
Yeah.
see darkness,
Like nukes.
lack of food, darkness, political corruption.
I'm talking like not a majority of deaths. I'm talking like to eliminate the entire Earth.
A nuclear, a war,
Yeah, nuclear
war.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Or
Yeah.
like a natural like cause of something, like a
Or how
big
about-
meteor. Or something.
Initiate your growth.
How about humanity in general? Just humanity, like to take that off of like the the platform of like us running the world out of like all the species on the Earth. What would that be? Would that be AI? You think?
I don't.
Yeah, it would have. That would be the only thing that could be.
I feel
That's the
like
only
realistically
possibility.
AI. I feel like somehow you can always pull the plug, and
Somehow.
nothing can run forever. Even you, like, no technology, nothing will run forever in this world. So there will be an end. However, robots can repopulate. I haven't seen 2 robots, in bed for a long time,
Yeah, but a robot can build a robot. Just build a robot if they're that smart. You know what I mean?
and recreating an unending cycle of new robots.
If we could do it, and we're making these.
This is
and
like
these things
SpongeBob Battle for Bikini
But
Bottom.
if like a human could do it, and you're thinking like these AIs are faster, like 100 times faster than our fastest computer, like you know what I mean? It's like.
Are you
it's
saying
like-
that AIs are more of a threat to society than NPCs?
I don't know, they're
Or
both
are
great.
AIs
NPCs.
all NPCs?
They
Are
might- maybe
NPCs
they-
building the AIs technology? NPCs are making AI technology.
No.
they are working in.
No.
They are cahooters.
What if
Cahooters.
the NPCs are AIs?
Yes, they're all AI.
No, this is exactly why we needed you to come here, guys. Write this down. NPCs are AI. Was that the verdict?
Yeah, NPCs.
They're AIs.
That's them.
Oh, it was. I have no idea what that. Okay, listen. The bottom line is that humanity is doomed. No,
Oh, yeah.
this reminds me of scary. Yes, I was scary movie.
But to
theater.
live in the present is exactly that, a gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift. So enjoy it while you can.
Wait, you saw Scary Movie 3. We were talking about this before. What? Scary movie. You saw Scary movie?
I might have. It was a while.
Yeah, it
I
was-
did see it, but it was a long time ago. I don't
Which
remember.
one? It's not Scream. It's not The
It's
Mansion.
with the
it's-
aliens.
I can't
It's
remember
four.
music.
That's
or-
four.
Charlie
or
Sheen.
movies.
That's four.
They're the aliens in both.
That's 4.
Then there was aliens and the Ring Girl.
And Saw.
That's 4. In 3, it was the Ring Girl and the aliens.
And the aliens has Saw like in the alien thing. Remember?
No, it was like the aliens go, and this is how we be. And then the
yes,
president
yes, yes.
goes, I guess we're not too quite different after all. And he starts being, and then he goes, kind of turns it off as the people kind of get weirded out. He's like, hey, he's like, I should stop this.
So that's 3.
Yeah, it's 3.
Okay, yeah.
It
What
was
about-
it
what
was a
about-
scene when what was the last thing you just said? That's what I was about referencing this.
How NPCs are AIs?
They all get along at the end.
What's the last thing I said?
Huh.
This is insane. No, it's Scary Movie 3. There was a we were just talking about something.
AIs, and then you brought up Scary Movie.
Yeah, that was really it.
You're like, you're just like this. And then you brought up that movie. And I was trying to figure out why.
This is so. I said it. I'm gonna have to rewind. I said Scary Movie 3, but I said something because that's what I was about to go off of.
Right.
But okay, Scary Movie 3. We talked about that before, right? Just name a great scene from Scary Movie 3. It might be the one I'm talking about. Oh, got it. Because I was like, we're all doomed. It was when when the guy was like typing on the newscasting thing. He was like, yeah, and he goes, now these aliens seem to pose a threat. However, we're not certain just how dangerous they are. But there is one thing for certain: we are all going to be killed. It was like, we don't know how sure we're not sure how dangerous they are, but there's one thing for certain. I told you that we are all going to be killed.
Okay, that makes
And
sense.
it's like yeah, like I don't know what's gonna happen to humanity. I don't know how there's global warming. There's there's gonna be the oil crisis, a food shortage. Hell, there could be war.
aliens.
But I don't know about the war. I don't know about any of that. One thing for certain: we are all going to be killed. It's like so. What was the verdict of today's topic? It was like something about
we're all
Noah
gonna-
getting to the top of a mountain and seeing a biscuit, and then about just all of us just
Dying to robots.
we're just dying to a bunch of AIs who end up being NPCs in disguise. And it's like
Do you think it's because they
we have called it right now.
they
I'm telling you.
fully see the opportunity that growth has on their lives, and humans will never be able to do that?
Wait, so
Did
AIs?
you not see Robbie's reaction?
AIs?
That one was funny. No, Robbie goes after the question. He goes
He goes.
kind of like Noah, Noah. Do you see my point?
Wait, should we repeat that?
Yeah. Go
Do
ahead.
you
Noah.
think we're gonna get overcome by the aliens because they first found out the opportunity that growth has?
Wait, start the question and say it
So
slow.
they grew faster than
Oh
us.
wait, no. Listen to the question. Go ahead. What was the question?
So, do you believe that AI will overcome humanity because
I thought he said, "Do you believe that the aliens will overcome humanity?"
He did.
Probably did.
Yeah, he did actually
Oh,
say that.
oh, you did
Still-
say aliens?
Still, nonetheless, either or.
Because I was like, aliens? I was like, I
But
don't.
either or. Do you feel like they
That was a movie.
prioritize growth before humans, or maybe more so than humans, and that's why they overcame?
If they do, that's the reason.
I think the AIs would see humans as a threat, but also as inferior and a wall to their growth. So in order for them to initiate growth, keep going, they've got the limited human race.
So what would you do if you found out we noticed there were like
This is great.
what's that called?
Oh,
Anyways.
I'm sure it's a truck backing up.
Anyways, the if you found out there was like another
Are you cookies
tribe,
ready?
another alien species out there, what would you think would be the best approach from a humanity standpoint?
Try to get allies, like become allies and work
The
together.
allies?
Wait,
Like,
Rob.
do you feel like you will truly ever be able to see each other as equal
Okay, can I just say,
out of just based ego and identity?
when I answer this question, and this is not even like to tie it.
Definitely
Is
not.
this unrelated topic? Like, can I answer it unrelated? Is this an unrelated topic? Like, I can answer it. Like, do I have to relate to the topic? Is what I'm asking.
You're good.
Like, it's just in general.
Yeah, right.
One, I want to say that's a great question, and number two, all the time related to the topic. That's actually hilarious because say you just go, oh, I just want to like you're just skimming the video. It's like 5 minutes ago. It was inspiring girl. Then it's like, do you believe aliens out there? Like that is. Just, I just want to say that's actually I genuinely really appreciate that
That's funny.
creativity.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So to answer that question, I believe that the aliens.
Get to it.
I believe if an alien species came to fruition or already exists and happens to surface and we witness them, we could maybe see eye to eye if they happen to understand our English and if they use Google Translate. or some sort of coding that we can understand them.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much what we could say to their language. We pose no threat.
All right, but-
Perhaps our minds together can defeat all mutual threats to this world, such as global warming, and we can find a mutual enemy. Then we will team up and crush said mutual enemy with full force.
I think
Other than the last
I think
part.
it depends what they look like too, dude. Let's be real. Like if they're like
Yeah, if it's
they're
like 87,
you
like
really feel
1987
like-
Predator.
Yeah.
Like-
you know,
like what do they look like?
Wait.
You know, like
a lot. Like if they look friendly, we're gonna treat them friendly.
Yeah.
What if they're like the cutest little things
Like
ever?
a Pokemon.
Super
Like a
aggressive.
Jigglypuff. Like a Jigglypuff could be an alien.
yeah, like when it was just a bunch of little Jigglypuffs.
Yeah,
Like, they
that's
were really
nice.
some-
And they
that
take
was-
over humanity.
But do you know the movie Predator with like the alien? Like, you know,
That's
other
not Arnold
aliens?
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that was an 87 film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was the original. Have you seen that Predator? It was that Arnold was covered in mud and like that
It's
Predator.
like Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Predator. Yeah, that character was made. That was the root of it. It was the first movie. It was called Predator. It was
And
Arnold
Arnold,
Schwarzenegger.
what's the name? I don't know.
87, main guy. He's with all these other casts.
Yeah.
So the thing is, they're on a mission and they're going through this jungle and they see something invisible appear for a second and go away and they just get randomly shot at. And so slowly, the alien is killing one by one the team, and Arnold's left at the end, but he accidentally falls in mud, and the alien can't see, like the vision can't see the Arnold through mud. So that's how he's able to then fight back. But here, after he accidentally fell in like a lake or whatever, the alien got him and he held him up against a tree, and instead of killing him, because he respected him as a mutual enemy, he went back, took off the mask, and showed him the face. And Arnold goes, "You are one ugly motherfucker." But that alien, the first thing he goes, he called him ugly. It was like, so it was like, I think the looks actually, because the aliens took off the mask to show him respect, like, okay, like, and then he took off his blades, and then they went fist to fist. It was a great scene. But Arnold, you know, the alien gonna win. But
Spoiler alert.
it's just Arnold's at the end of the first, like, because this alien just looked so ugly. Arnold's just like, "You are one ugly mother." It was just so like,
it would
we
mean-
could never be
It would mean
friends.
a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that if the aliens were just like, you know, like, since they got Noah's haircut, just a couple of highlights, and the aliens were like, yeah, you know, like, we're kind of from Mars, but
But we like highlights.
we have our
too.
own form of TikTok. We're posting vertical content. It's like, oh fuck, you know about growth? And aliens are like, wait, you know about value? Fuck. You guys speak English? Oh fuck, all languages. Canadian, fucking English, value.
Is this Gary Vee?
Now let's go, sis. Like what? Blueberries, value. Fuck. I'm not gonna lie, this is by far my favorite line. This is great. I love that this is like, it's like, yeah, no, Robbie really hit the nail in the coffin about, you know, how you really have, and, you know,
Growth.
But then he started to confuse me when he was talking about the aliens. It's like, but you have no idea what's to come. Robbie is sensing something, and he knows these balloons.
Tingling.
The balloons, there's something going on with the aliens. Dude, oh my god, I should make a skit that references, like, it's like, I'm like the character, the president in Scary Movie 3. Hey, you guys seen the balloons? It's scaring society. The aliens are coming. However, I don't think there's any danger at all. The balloons, no threat. We have more things in common. For example, we pee the same way. Observe. And I just edit, like, just come out, and then everyone looks at me, I'm like, I'm just kind of like,
Do it.
I'm like, what? Wait, I'm like, yeah, I'm just not gonna do that. But we just gotta pee out our fingers, and we're not doing, we're not quite different after all. Oh, and the president in that movie starts kicking this, like, here, they're in this presidential campaign, and then this guy goes, "Sir, I just had a very scary thought." And the president's like, "What is it? What if they were all aliens in disguise?" "You're right, we can't take any chances." And he starts punching these old ladies. and he's like, "Sir, we have to get out of here." He goes, "Create a hole." "All right, sir." And he just gets the bazooka.
I swear I saw this movie.
Dude, you had to.
Probably.
I like have a thing,
Yeah.
like I don't remember movies. I can't remember movies
Really?
ever. I can never remember.
What
Favorite movie?
Exactly. Like I couldn't tell you because
Oh, the
Yeah,
Elvis movie.
dude, this is my thing. I watch movies and I just forget them. Like I can't recall and like name out.
What about the
scenes
movie
from
about
any
initiating your
movies.
growth by Noah Robbie and Maddie?
Yeah, that one I can
Roby?
recall. I can recall that.
Do you
one.
have a favorite movie?
I don't think so.
Wow. You said that.
Even like when I watch shows, like I'll watch them like a year goes by and I just like I can't remember what happened.
I thought you said you like that Spice Girls cover, the autobiography movie up there.
I love that one too. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. But
Aren't you a big Spice Girls fan?
I love it.
Noah loves them Spice Girls.
I don't know who Spice Girls.
Noah loves them Spice Girls.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe I got something wrong with my memory. I don't know.
Noah, I don't even know what we're talking about. So, listen, guys. Aliens. They would, listen, if we stay out of our comfort zones, we don't initiate our own growth, and we don't try to be the best version of ourselves, we're not going to prepare for the invasion.
Because they're probably freaking banging Chipotle too.
If everyone applies themselves
Solid protein.
to their full
They probably
potential.
got gains.
Facts.
But guys, if everyone is like, you know what? I'm going to bust out my comfort zone. Every day, I'm going to start doing some action. That, even as Noah was saying that, as long as you're making progress every day, what did you say?
What did I used to say?
Yeah, about the progress every day.
So
do you remember
just
that?
gotta
At
make
least that?
progress every single day, and then that's what.
Because I ain't a
when you're
movie.
gonna
Would
do
you go as
that.
far to say that's the key to happiness?
Yeah, it's like making progress every day.
How
Constant
why,
and
what made you
never-ending
discover
improvement, perhaps?
that? What made you discover that, Noah? What made you discover that?
When did we discover that?
Yeah.
Actually, a book that my friend here, Robbie J. Bobby, introduced me to.
So you remember books but not movies, huh, Noah?
I think I'm better with books.
Just don't hit the
I
tripod.
think it's this book right here, actually. That's when I first learned.
No, dude, it's still like lined up perfectly.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's so weird. That thing
Awaken
right
the
there
giant
really
within.
did change my whole entire life. That book right there really did. It's weird.
Go
What
get
in
your
that
copy
book-
now.
what
I'm
in that
selling it
book
on eBay.
inspired you
No, I'm
to
kidding.
every day start
But
your growth?
phenomenal book.
It's just everything in it. Just like it just kind of like it was like opening my eyes to a new world. Like that I never even knew.
What's a highlight?
It knew existed.
Something that made you see something that you didn't see before.
It's just like helped me have control over my emotions. That was a big thing. Like being able to not let my emotions control me, but me control them. So
Kind of made you realize that you have full control over how you feel.
over how you feel.
And
all
every
the
day
time.
you
and
have
how
the
you
power
like
to be
interpret
better.
things. How like you are always choosing whether it's a good experience or a bad experience. Like you can take what you want to take out of every experience of your life. You know
That's
what I
an
mean?
interesting concept because I've actually been opposed by this thought because I've been in that mindset for so long now, about 3 years, about like how I can have like my own power over my emotions and be able to decide to have a good day when I have a good day, or how to make the changes to make that happen.
Yeah.
But I've actually had a lot of the cases where I've been talking to people about this, about trying to help them throughout their day, and they're like, that's not how it works. Like, I can't just decide to be happy. I'm depressed or this, that, and the other. Like, what are your thoughts? I'm just curious. Like, do you feel like you truly can decide on that, or do you feel like there are cases where you can't?
I feel like you can once you like get yourself to that level first. I feel like if somebody just being introduced to that idea isn't going to be able to do it like initially.
But that's something.
But after
in
they,
itself that
I
can
feel like you have
happen.
to work on yourself a little while until you get to the point where you really do have control over it.
I think it really has a key point of like being so self-aware that you know exactly what your triggers are. You know
Yeah.
how to prevent them.
Yeah.
You know how to
I'm
initiate things
so
that are.
honed into you guys right now.
You know how to initiate the key points to make you fulfilled, or what really pushes you to the next level throughout that day.
Yeah. So I think I'm not even fully there yet. I'm still learning. I'm just like I'm very open to the idea of it though. So I do have a lot of control over my emotions.
Yeah.
Like everybody I feel like has times where they might slip up and
Yeah.
like let it get the best of them.
Yeah.
But
And you
I feel like
Okay.
I feel like in these cases I was talking last week or the week before about having empathy for these individuals that may not be able to see this right now, but it's not so much simple as like, oh bro, like just do this, and like you're sitting up at the top of this ladder and you're like looking down at them, you're like, bro, just climb the ladder, it's so easy.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you really have to have somebody to like show you what that process looks like, that is willing to climb down that ladder, grab you, like hold your hand on your way up the ladder and show you like how to take each action.
So what do you say to people like that who truly believe, for example, if they say they're depressed, like obviously I'm sure you believe it too, like I do, that you are in full control of changing that. But most people will just say, oh no, I have no control over it. This is how I am. Like, what do you say to people that believe that?
I would say
hire a life coach.
That's bullshit.
no, I'm just kidding. So your question exactly was, if people are depressed and they feel like they can't get out of that slump, like what does that look like for them?
Like just the mindset, how you said at first people aren't open to the idea. They're just like, oh no, I'm just sad, I'm depressed. You're telling them, oh, just climb the ladder, just do it. Like how do you like get that through people's head that there's like a whole new side of things?
We just talked about that on the podcast a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
But I feel like I mentioned before, it's like one of the key components, one of the first steps you need to take is like understanding more about yourself and what makes you that way, and like your belief systems behind that,
Mhm.
your whys behind like what has gotten you to the point of which you feel this way, and being able to eliminate pain points and then apply pleasure points that are going to initiate and give you a compelling tomorrow to look forward to, rather than just sitting in this day currently with like nothing to do or nothing to strive for and
Yeah.
nothing to grow in. Because like you mentioned before, one of the key components to happiness is constant never-ending improvement. But what is it that you're planning on improving on? You have to
You have to have
identify
some,
that first
Yeah, exactly.
in order to apply that process.
So you think that's like a good first step for
Yeah.
most people?
And really taking a look at like what that looks like for you personally, not looking outside the car window, looking in the mirror to have that self-reflection of like, this is what gives me fulfillment. This is
Right.
what gives me joy, me
Yeah.
peace.
But what about the people, like, I always think about this too, because there's a lot of people that are trapped in their lives that they have. Like, they have their job all day, every, like, 5 days out of the week maybe, and then they have kids. Like, what do they do, you know?
When they're kind of like so like stuck in their routine, it's like almost impossible to get out of it.
Yeah.
Like, how can they?
Yeah, like that. Like, how can somebody like that? I don't know, like, what advice I'd give to
It's
even
actually
somebody
real
like
quick
that.
before you say that. It's I think a lot of it, like this growth or transformation happens when a big like change or a big tragedy happens in people's lives. Because
Yeah.
people that are in these situations sometimes, I've realized that they make this recognition of their own stuck pattern or they're stuck in this groove after they're forced by some outside reasoning to make a big change in their lives, whether they
An epiphany.
lose
if
their
you will.
home, lose a job, like have a big
Yeah.
loss or a tragedy or hardship. That's when they realize like what I'm doing is not working and it's not going to work in all scenarios, so I got to change something.
Yeah.
The sad truth would be there's only one way, and that's sacrifice. If
Yeah.
you're completely, your time is to your kids, your wife, and whatever job, if there's something, if you don't like some part in your life, just if one of those things is not giving you gratification.
You got to prioritize.
Either you need a new woman, you gotta get a new kid. but
Send it back.
usually it's the career,
Yeah.
the career,
Yeah.
the career, if you will. And no, but what we were saying on that podcast episode, pretty much it's like that motivation to get up every day and just start it, and like what it's like, cause say you're going through trauma, and it's like, man, it's like, is there even a point of trying to grow and do all this? Because what if I just fail? It's like, is this even a waste of time? Like, I'm going through this. It's like your energy's already drained. But we were saying it's the peace and mind knowing that, you can choose whether or not to receive it. But if there is that plan for you, God's plan, and it's like, yeah, you're already taken care of, and like you can apply yourself, and even if you fail, that's just more room to grow, because no matter what, like we have this W at the end, and I will take you there. And so it's kind of hard not to, like, and this is what's been motivating me every day, in current time. When I get up, I'm like, damn, it's like when like it's like I already won. It's like I feel obligated to like be deserving of that. Like I feel like it's a love so pure that's like, hey, like I already have this taken care for you. That I'm like, man, that's so great. Like, yeah, I want to match that. I want to be able to, obtain that, receive that, and then help other people receive that and project that onto others. So acting upon that and understanding that when people are like, oh, like I don't really, want to receive that, or and kind of like you asked, like when people like, kind of choose not to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
I asked, I'm like, do you have, honest to God, peace at mind? Like, do you have peace? It's like, well, I'm kind of stressing on this. It's like when you can find peace within the storm, which you can, already knowing that no matter what, you have already won.
Yeah.
That's when every day you have the peace at mind. When you don't have to stress about anything, you have that creativity, and you're like, man, like, it's like you get so, like, dude, I was like crying to Kurt, that new guy I've been filming the other day, out of excitement. I was like, bro, like I feel so happy these days. Like, I'm like, my mind seems so creative. I'm like, damn, like, I don't know. I thought I saw some potential, but when you're so creative and so at peace, and you see all of this potential that you didn't realize you had, because you said you see like much more. Imagine a door opens and you see even more, and you're like, wow, I already thought I was gonna hit the jackpot, but now I see all this other gold, which is how you interpret that gold. But when you see all that, it's like you want to run, because it's like, damn, like there's two finishes. There's an even bigger finish. Like it's a never-ending
And
cycle
then
of
when
winning.
you get there, you understand that it's always been here the whole time.
But it has because it's peace within the storm. It's all within your mind. But you know, it's
like
funny.
the hero's journey.
I didn't even realize that there's always like two. There's two mountaintops. There's more.
Yeah.
There's more than one finish line. When you think you won, it's so surprising, and that's when you are surprised by your potential. When you're like, wait, like, I did it, and so many times, even with us hitting 1 million on TikTok is a good example. We would have never thought we were at 1 million when we started, but by the time we're at like 2 million, it's like,
You're never satisfied.
it's like it's crazy, but you know we've like have taken so many W's in that way, but that's why it's like hard not to keep going because there's so many more of those to come, but we take it for granted at times. But like it's incredible. So that's
why I don't even think about the number because I know no matter what number I get to, it's still like it's not gonna make me any more happy.
It's really hard to see like a future version of yourself with so much potential, and like you have the resources and are able to take the steps to get there, and like I don't know, it's just so it's like someone. It's like how I feel. It's like every day. It's like someone like, hey, like here's $1,000. I'm gonna give this every day. You get $1,000, you're gonna be fine. You're set for life, and it's like. No. And it's like that's your full potential. It's like it's here. You don't have to take it. You don't need to. It's great. You can see it. It's pretty tempting, but it's your choice. And it's like walking away from that. It's like that doesn't make any sense. It's what you were saying about your comfort zone. It's like how can you be satisfied having that like backing thought of if I can just break out of this routine and I can, instead of just staying still, I just break out of the zone. I grab that fucking money every day. Even if you don't actually keep the money, you give it to people who really need it. Instead of just letting it sit there and sit there. Wasted potential, wasted money, nothing. It's just going to pile up and burn it.
There's actually a parable in the Bible that's about that, about like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically, like a man gives like 3 different guys the same amount of money and like leaves them on for like a year or a certain amount of time, and when he comes back, like the one guy's like, hey, like I wasted all the money, like yada yada yada. The other guy's like, hey, I stored it away for you, and I have it exactly as you gave it to me. And then the third one like invested it, like worked hard for it, like made it transform into even more, and like it was like very noticeable that like God was trying to emphasize the fact that like this is what I want you to do with it is invest this and like treat this life as like something that you isn't something to just take granted of or something like to be like, oh no, I gave it back to you. It's like we're given this life to really be fruitful and multiply and like make the most of it.
And honestly, bro, not to like highlight Noah, but a big thing that keeps me going is like, yes, I can like see my potential and take steps to get there and try to make a difference in my own world. But when it's emphasized that I was able to make even the slightest difference in someone else's world, when you're like, oh yeah, like even with Robbie, you're like, we're like your role models, like people that you were able to like, you're like, where do you get this motivation from? And Robbie's even giving you this book. It's like, this is it. This is how like, I'm doing it. This is who I'm learning from, sharing inspirations, getting inspiration from him. And it's like knowing, and we talked about this before, like understanding that we set a standard, and it's like this image we have that we have, that we take pride in, a healthy pride of like, oh, like for example, like I can be a man of God. I'm a man of integrity. I will be an honest person. And then some people can be like, wow, like Robbie is so honest and he is so happy and people don't have problems with him. Like maybe honesty can go a long way. But then if they see Robbie like doing some BS and make some white lies, it's like, oh, maybe like honesty is like not that important after all, because even Robbie, who is the pure one, the man of God, he lies. It's like then you have to keep going because you're consistently adding that value and motivation in someone else's life and providing that positivity that, even as you say, it's a domino effect. That positivity they have will then, root into their friends. It's gonna make the world a better place one by one.
That's the interesting part about it. I feel like that concept of never being like perfect quite as Jesus was. or is, it like always gives us something to like work on and improve on, to have like, you know, instill purpose on this growth journey that we're on.
Right.
It's like always, you know, derives you to like know that like there's this point that you'll never quite get to, but to be able to work more and more to get there, even though it seems you're so close to some point or an extent, it's like there's always some way to be improved. That's why it's very
Yeah.
important to always have like a humbleness to you too. So like having the confidence to know like I'm getting closer, but the humility to be like I'm never gonna be this.
Yeah.
And there's always gonna be room to grow. I
And
feel
even like
that's
Brittany's
the
mindset,
perfect
it's like
balance to
I'm
have.
gonna get all the way here, but still find leadership and serving others, and like not letting that get to your ego and
Gotta
shutting
call
down
her.
serving.
Got a caller, yeah.
No, you
She's
don't.
great.
Nah. But no, here's a question for you. When you see somebody, which I'm sure you have, where you're like, hey, you know, you realize they're not chasing their full potential, because you asked us like, what do you guys do when they don't like, they're not like listening, and they just stay in that comfort zone. Why is that? Why is it frustrating to you if it's like not your life? Seeing when your friends or someone that you know, they're just like,
Because it's just like I wish I could bring everybody up with me, and I wish they could see the world how I see it sometimes, because I just want everybody to have the greatest experience they can, especially if they're my friends, you know? It's just kind of sad to just,
Do you feel like some people will never see that?
yeah, truly.
Do you
they
feel,
already have.
Do you feel like it was within, I don't know where you stand on this, within our creator's intention to create some people as wolf and some people as sheep, as in like leaders and followers?
Well, yeah, because I think
Or should everybody
need
be a
sheep.
follower?
You
Or
need sheep. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Who's gonna pump the gas and like not pump the gas? You guys pump your own gas here. Sorry, in Jersey we have people that actually pump the gas for us.
What?
But yeah, but that's besides.
Who's
the
gonna
point.
pump our gas?
Who's gonna work
That
at
sounds
the
like some
grocery store?
40s,
Who's gonna
50s shit.
Who's gonna work at the grocery stores? Who's gonna pump the gas in New Jersey?
like, do you feel like it's a divine calling on people's lives not to do that, or do you feel like it's just out of self-desire that we work to be more and be leaders?
I don't know if it's necessarily a thing that you're born with. I don't know. That's an interesting point, because like I feel like I've always known, even before I was surrounded by people that have done successful things, I always knew in my head that I wanted to do something just bigger than just like what everybody else kind of was. And I don't know where that came from, because my parents, nobody in my family has done anything.
I feel the same
So
way.
what would you say for you guys? Because I don't know where it came from.
Mine was, because honestly, I love what you said, because all my sister, myself included, and my parents all went to the same college. And it's just like,
They all went to Kent? Or?
all went to Kent. There wasn't this like, because I want, and as a parent, like it's common, you want your children to have it better than even you did.
Yeah.
I want my son, like I want a Kent, I'm like, yeah, it's good school. I want like my son, I would want to be like, my boy, you smart guy. And that's what you smart, because he's gonna know better than me. And if he's smart, he'll tell me. What is it, gas?
This guys.
And I asked my son, you smart guy? He was like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I would push my son. I'm like, okay, if you're telling me you're a smart guy, you're my son, why would you lie to me?
Yeah.
Let's try to get you the most advanced school possible outside of your comfort zone. And like, because I know, like, if he set up the higher chances, like, he's going to be, it'd be like that peace of mind knowing that my son will make it, he's going to be able to, he will be okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, yeah, it's crucial.
It's just like the one thing I think that really just sets me off, because I always like leave this in the back of my head.
Right.
It's like you have one life, like one shot at this. It's like, why do you want to live it knowing you could have done so much
with
more?
you, I
know?
think
And just
it's
for everybody.
a subconscious understanding your gift. It's kind of like even in high school, like before anything, like TikTok or anything, it's just like, I don't know. I felt like when I interact with people, it seems like a very average response is to not like be heard. It's like an average person. It's like, yeah, there's like pros being introvert and pros being extrovert. I do feel like a balance is good, but when you're too far in one spectrum, like I oftentimes when I associate with the average person, it seemed there wasn't like a good balance. I'm like, oh, like they're just being too quiet, or like, no, they can joke around. Because some people, here's a perfect example. It's like I could see a joke, have even the teacher rolling her ass off, and it's like, yeah, and then someone could be like, you know, we're in class, like, why are you joking? And it's like. No, like it was fine. It's but them not understanding. It was kind of like I see something that they don't, and I just knew like I felt like my gut feeling. I just had this instinctive, like I felt like this balance I had, and I'm like, I just felt more aware and analytical, and I guess that's kind of what we talked about when we became friends at college. We kind of vibed on that, but it was then, and again, not to shove down anyone's throat, just openly saying it. God then kind of, and that's what I described to both of you guys. Like I was able to read the lines very clearly. Some people kind of would, you can have like a regular book. Some people are going to misread some stuff, But when you could read so clear and then read in between the lines, that's when I'm just like, you know what? I have all the resources now because I can see it all. Like I see what I need to do to get to my full potential. It's laid out. How can I not do it? That's kind of how it just understanding.
What do you feel like the transition looks like for some people? 'Cause some people might not realize what that process looks like. Do you feel like there was steps needed to be taken, or was it all in one moment?
What's specifically part of the process?
To be able to see like read in between the lines, pretty much.
It's that moment where,
It's a moment.
It is.
Okay.
It's kind of that. It can build up, but there will be that moment. I feel, at least in my experience, where it's kind of like, in a way, almost what you asked. Before I found God and went to church, it was just like, yeah, I just never really seen you get triggered, and it was like man, it's like, and I was even just talking about this in the car. I have a lot of people, a day. 2-3 weeks ago, I just felt so unmotivated. I was so tired. It was the day I had 2.5 million on YouTube, and everyone's like, "Congrats, man, good job." And it's like, okay, I can rest. I just, and I'm like, no, I have work I needed to get done, and I couldn't apply. And so it's just like, whether I can be stressed about that or whatever, like it's very, very important to be around people. It's your environment. It's so important. Like it took me to live with you. And after so many times you went to church, that I was just like, okay, like I notice there's more sturdy wall Robbie has of getting less triggered. I can find myself getting more triggered than you. It's like, although it's like, my shit's going well, I'm doing well, and we're level-headed guys. It's like
Are you talking about my piece? You talking about my piece in general?
What's peace?
Like just like peace.
Like
my
when you say
calmness.
not getting triggered.
Yeah, like your demeanor if you would hear something or were wronged by somebody.
Yeah.
Whereas like,
I
because
have
we're both,
such peace with it, right?
I'm more so I'm more of a louder mouth. I would be like, yo, like yeah, hold them accountable. It's like even like you, kind of like, well, I like you. I would address it with a high energy because I feel like, yeah, I gotta hold it accountable. Which we gotta hold accountability, but you seemed even at times you didn't argue to dismiss it, but you could dismiss it sooner. And although you didn't say anything, you made a judgment in your head, and you didn't owe him an explanation. You still have that accountability, but it wasn't like your role to change him. So just feeling that you had a sturdy wall, it's like damn, because we even talked about humbly, and we were like, oh, like a full package. It's like we try to like that's why we want to take care of our health. Have a good job. Be
For
out
sure, we're growing in every area of our lives.
every area, correct. And that being said, I'm like sensing that difference. I'm like, well, the only difference would be, and even what he's telling me, this guy he's got God, and God's able to provide a stability that when things are out of his control, because no matter what in life, things will be out of your control at times.
Like I always say, you always go through the battles, but the war is already won. So why stress yourself out on the little things?
Because if something's out of your control and someone starts a war with you, and it's out of your control, you can't stop that war. You have to find the stability in your mind that has just peace with it. And it's impossible to get that from yourself, because it's kind of what I was explaining to you and you earlier. That video of the kid and Michael Myers. It's like when you're threatened, it's so natural for us to want to like defend or attack back or even ignore it. But it's even harder if someone stabs you to say I love you. You know what I mean? It's like when someone gives you full on hatred, to match it with 100% love. It's like I never seen that. That's what I was telling you before. Like that's why I have such more respect now for animals since I found God, because I was like saying, like, you can lock your dog in the trunk for 3 hours. You let the dog out. He's so happy to see you. If I lock you in, you're gonna kill me. But because dogs they're just like it's like that purity of Jesus. It's like, hey, like you completely wronged me, but I'm gonna give you what you gave in hatred.
And there's
same
not
out of
even
love.
there's not even hesitation with it either.
No hesitation, and it's so.
It's not like I have to try to do this. It's like this is just who I am.
And it's like, what's your motive? Nothing, and that's what breaks the enemy. It's so pure, and it's undescribable. And so, when you describe and talk about that stability, and you're like, yeah, this is what I have. And it's like, we all of us can say, we can vouch that we're all open-minded, correct?
Yeah.
If you had, would you say that's a trait, being
Yeah.
open-minded?
100%.
If someone's telling me, hey, you don't have to believe anything, your feelings are valid, very calm and understanding, they're like, there's a chance that this exists, and if you have this, you will have complete peace at mind, or damn near close, or more control over that peace. It's going to be more tolerable. You'll be just overall more joyful. There's a chance. And if I at least had to give it a shot. That I was like, at least give it a shot. And specifically speaking of my career, the first day we like committed to go to church, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go every Sunday. Like I'm gonna give this a shot. Once a day I had 4 million TikTok and got in the YouTube algorithm, and it was literally like my full potential was just waiting for me, and being blinded by my own sin of just thinking things like not caring for like the real rappers, like thinking about the views and money, or like beating people, comparing myself to others, and not focusing on serving others. It was just like this every day, this motivation of like, wow, it's like I have this peace, and it's like God took my hand, and He's like, hey, I just wanted you to do it, and do it to love others, not just selfishly for yourself. But now that we are both on the same page, because we know that you are good enough, you are deserving, and damn, you are talented, we are gonna run together. And it's like, there's no way. Noah was just telling me about the mountains and hills. You know, we gotta climb these mountains. It's like, yeah, but we can get to the top, but we're gonna walk on water. Let everyone else climb. They're gonna get tired, you know. They're gonna work hard, yeah. We're not gonna take that away. We can't take away their work ethic, but that can only go so much because no one's perfect. We agree, no one's perfect. You can't have peace of mind at all times. And that imperfection, those moments will slow down anybody. Yep. No one will ever have complete. I'm always happy. We're not NPCs. But that being said, when you're walking on water and you're looking, and it's like you're getting to your destination fast, and you're seeing everyone on these mountains and hills, it's like it's kind of hard to like get unmotivated and like, all right, well, I better grab my hiking boots and start sweating my ass off. And it's like, oh, you don't want to walk on water anymore? We're moving just fine. It's like, no, the sun's hot. I kind of want to worry about some shit. And I want to start, you know, kind of like everyone else. It's like, when I turn away, and what honestly drives me, what guilts me is that when you turn around, and honestly, this is how I want to answer your question, because I answered this to one of my buddies recently. It was like if you can't see God, it's so hard to believe when you can't see something. It's like, okay, say you turn away and you want to climb the mountains and hills, do it your own way. Mm-hmm. And this isn't directed towards anybody. This is just a general, because, you know, everyone's feelings and values want to say. You're going to believe whatever you like. And I understand, I respect it. But for me specifically, when I turn away and I'm like, no, I want to do it my own way. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing fine. Like, try. We know what a man looks like. We've seen like the human Jesus, like just even in memes or whatever, just like the long hair. I turn around and I picture a man almost bawling his eyes out going, you're leaving. And it's like, yeah, I don't have time. I'm busy. I gotta work. And the tears come down. It's just like, man, I love you too much to see you sweat your ass off doing that. I wanted you at peace. It's fine. I'll be waiting for you no matter what. No animosity. Cut me off. Leave me. I'll be here whenever. And we'll run again. It's like to turn your back. It's like a backstabbing your brother. It's like, damn, they just wanted to look out. It's like, fuck you. And it's like that guilt. Every day, I'm just like, damn, I gotta keep going, because even when filming content, when you have your own friends, like, yo, like, when I accidentally smashed your phone, and it's like, damn, and I was like, this is gonna suck. I don't want to film anymore. And you're like, what's the point? We can be stressed about it, or we can make a damn good video. It's like you put your hand out and you're like, yo, like, we could dwell on this, we can not have peace.
Yeah.
Or it's like,
It's
even
like, no matter
even
what,
when
I'm
you-
gonna have to get a new phone anyway.
When you dropped your headphones off the balcony.
That was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
perfect example.
That was.
That's actually
And then you were
two
fine.
great
I was
examples.
like, dude, like,
It's
I
like-
feel bad. Like, it was for my video. It's like, oh, no, it's all good. We're gonna finish.
how
it.
can you be so at peace?
It's like,
You
oh, we're
ask
gonna
yourself.
finish the video.
That's interesting, yeah.
And so it's just like, when you reach your hand out as a friend,
Yeah.
and it's just like, when you have someone else going like, hey, if I'm willing to chase your dream and be here and give you my time,
Yeah.
to chase your dream in any way, whether it's God or a friend or whatever, someone's like, hey, like, I'm willing to give you my time to get you to the top. Can you at least give your own time that I'm willing to give you to get to your own top of your mountain?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, damn, it's like that guilt that's just like, there's this thing, this power, whether it's your God, whether it's your crystals, or whether it's even your friends, family, like, in general, though, it's when someone's willing to get you to your full potential, to turn it down,
Yeah.
it kills me.
Yeah, that's bad.
But speaking of like being at peace, I feel like it's also like pretty crucial from the human standpoint to be able to like check yourself. Like that's why like I feel like if God were in the situation of like dropping his headphones, he'd have like no worry, no hesitation.
He's like,
But for me,
the song's not
like
good.
for situations where I know like something's gonna be troublesome or maybe even to the extent traumatic, like there has to be like at least, you know, like a couple seconds or a 5-minute limit that you really sit with yourself and like really assess like where your heart is with the situation. You can't just like brush it over and be like, no, I'm just gonna hold that inside. It's not gonna affect me.
Yeah.
Like build resentment, and over time it will grow and grow, just like a snowball going downhill, and then it'll crash and burn. But to make it, you know, really being self-aware and like having that self-assessment to like really analyze, do I need time to grieve with this? Just because that's important to like let it out. Just like let
Right.
it decompress and fully be at peace, and like not let it internalize, but let it process and go through.
yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah, I
crucial.
remember you telling me about your 5-minute rule. I wasn't on long at all.
You give you a
Like, I caught it quick.
yeah.
Okay, because I was like,
You did.
what it does when the warning pops up, the live, it doesn't like freeze, it cuts it out of the video. It just cuts it out. So like it could have like if that was on long, like
Like
in
you
10
know,
minutes.
for sure it doesn't.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like it literally just cut out. So it's like it just
Jumps.
Yeah, you got it like
wow.
instantly.
so yeah, we're not even
Uh,
getting paid.
anyways.
The pause.
I give myself 5 seconds or 5 minutes, 5 minutes actually, to like be upset about something, and then after that, if it's something that's out of my control and I can't change, I won't be upset about it, and I'll literally just focus on like how I can implement what I can do about the situation. And when you're looking forward to doing something rather than like looking back and saying upset about something I can't change, you be optimistic about the things you can change given your new scenario.
So you're saying you'll just take 5 minutes on that spot and process it and make that decision.
Mhm.
As Albert Einstein says, if it takes 5 minutes, do it right then and there. It's like you process it and you understand, hey, it takes 5 minutes of my day to process a decision that's out of my control, and it's that easy to decide whether or not I'm going to let it ruin my day or still have a good day.
That's another like good point. I feel like with growth mindset, it's like how can I optimize my efficiency and my energy throughout the day? So limiting the amount of choices that you make throughout your day, anyways. Like you have a certain number of decisions. I think the average was like 18,000 decisions you make in a day. Yeah, like an average person.
Yeah,
Something like
I heard
that.
that before.
And like if you can do the things that like limit that and like create a system that just like is habitual for you,
Yeah.
like you know Steve Jobs and like all these like you know CEOs of their companies, they only wear black T-shirts. You know why? So it limits a decision that they're gonna have to make about wearing something particular. It's like systematic process.
So why do you
that
think
they
it's
speed right
important
through.
to eliminate decisions?
So you can like you know create more energy on the decisions that do matter.
So
in
you
your
think
life.
you're like wasting a lot of mental energy?
Simplicity could save a lot of energy with the right
that's
balance.
interesting.
Simplicity
Yeah.
can be. It's that less is more sometimes.
But it's also a gift and a curse because especially with technology and society moving towards you know more like instantaneous gratification lifestyle, it really limits our human capability of being able to remember or critical think because everything's just so at a touch of a finger fixable.
Yeah.
But that gives us a lot of troubles in our relationships nowadays, which is pretty obvious to see. Which people are like, you know, really against like having the emotional capacity to have difficult conversations. So sometimes they will just block somebody just to be able to like be like, oh, out of sight, out of mind, don't have to worry about them.
Right.
It's just so like causes a lot of tension within humanity. I feel like
That, as you would say, over time, it'll turn into resentment, which will just branch into negativity, and that would be the domino effect of making the world a more negative place.
but having resentment and like not forgiving is literally like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. It's like they're not caring at all what you're going through. So like, why hold it against them if it's really just holding it against yourself? It's like carrying more weight than you need to.
The negativity would be your own downfall. Noah, I think that's foreshadowing. Get here.
By the way?
No, Ethan, you get here.
Cut here. Oh, cut here.
Down the toilet, Noah. Oh no.
I think it's a wrap, y'all.
That
was an
that
hour,
felt like a
baby.
good closure.
How long was it?
5 minutes.
How long was it? Well, how long was it frozen for? Like
No,
a minute, 2 minutes?
Not even.
Not even.
I thought it was like a Coke.
All right, guys.
Almost punched
Regardless, then it's like okay, I go, and it's like, well, this podcast is over, and so's Nag.
But,
No,
glad you guys tuned into VibeCheck. It's been Robbie J,
Noah
D,
Robbie
Shane
J,
Nagy,
Bobby,
Robbie J.
Noah D.
Yo, any questions, any comments? We'd love to help support.
It's Noah.T on
Reach
Instagram,
out.
Facebook,
Facebook.
YouTube,
MySpace.
TikTok,
MySpace.
and then
Kick Messenger.
Robbie J.
Robbie J. Bobby.
Robert J. Bobby on everything and Shane Ag on everything. Hit us up. But no, I hope you guys enjoy this live. I know we did at times branch away from topic, but I just hope you guys had fun. I'm telling you guys, like, again, everything we say, I know it's up in the air, but there's only one thing for certain, and we're all going to be killed. I'm telling you. But anyways, before then, live up your life as much as you can and initiate your growth before you're killed. And I feel like we can't end on that. It's like before you're actually killed, it's like, you mean die of natural, like just causes? It's like, sure. But yeah, guys.
Remember to check your own vibe and just make the most of it.
Yeah, and Noah's sweatshirt was wrinkly, but we steamed it.
We steamed it.
I steamed it.
It's fun.
It's fine.
We're fun. All right, guys.